Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about TLRY, ticker symbol TLRY, with some very exciting news that came out in after hours. We're going to break that down, what it means for the company going forward, and then we're going to take a look at the charts. There's a very interesting setup right now, and if we do have a pretty decent gap up from this news, we could be seeing what could be a pretty nice rally for a stock that's been pretty beaten down over the past few months. So stay tuned for that. Leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, really quickly before we begin, I just want to thank everybody who has subscribed to the channel so far and has shown their support. I really do appreciate that. We are very close to hitting that 1,000 subscriber marker. So I've decided to do a giveaway, okay? I'm going to be giving away two $25 prizes to anybody that likes one of my videos that I'm going to make over the next couple of days. But there is a catch, okay? So one $25 pool is going to go to anybody who likes my video, and another $25 pool is going to go to people who specifically subscribe from now until the end of Friday and leave that thumbs up on one of these videos. On top of that, if we get to 900 subscribers by Friday, I will increase that prize pool to $50 each for each giveaway. And if we get to 1,000 subscribers by this Friday, it won't take that much for that to happen. Well, then I'm going to be giving away two $100 pools, one to just anybody who is already subscribed or hasn't subscribed and likes the video, and also one to somebody new who subscribes and likes the video. So stay tuned for that. But aside from that, let's hop right into the video. Okay, so here we have the news that was released in after hours on today's trading session surrounding TLRY. It has the stock up 7% in after hours with pretty decent volume. We saw that TLRY announced Tuesday afternoon that it has agreed to purchase convertible bonds put forward by the U.S. pot company MedMen Enterprise Incorporated as it sought to avoid insolvency, and the deal could eventually give TLRY a path to own MedMen if marijuana is federally legalized in the U.S. Honestly, that statement should be changed to it will give TLRY a path to own MedMen when marijuana is federally legalized in the U.S., but there's no need to get into technicals. This is an awesome move for TLRY. For anybody that's been in this stock for a while, we know that the main part of the bearish thesis here is that TLRY is ultimately a Canadian-based company, and they've done a great job throughout the year expanding their enterprises through, Europe with different European countries that have legalized weed. However, the question is, would they be able to kind of grow and expand into the US when legalization happens? That's been the main part of the bearish thesis. And as you guys can see, this is the advantage of having such a large company with such large infrastructure. Of course, they were going to be able to close a deal like the one they did today and start to kind of develop that path line into the United States once federal legalization happens. And once they do legalize weed in the US, well, all of a sudden, TLRY is going to have all the tools it needs to tap into this market and continue its standing as being the global leader in the cannabis industry. So this is just about as good of news as TLRY could get. It shows a lot of promise for the future, and no one sums it up better than the CEO of TLRY, Irwin Simon. As he said on the deal, backed by accelerating trends towards legalization globally, we are focused on building the world's leading cannabis-focused consumer branded company with a goal of $4 billion of revenue by the end of our fiscal 2024 year. The investment we are announcing in MedMen Securities today, one of the most recognized brands in the $80 billion U.S. cannabis market, is a critical step towards delivering on our objective as we work to enable TLRY to lead the U.S. market when legalization allows for it to happen. So, I mean, I feel like TLRY's on the right page. They're saying the right things. They're making the right moves. And here we are with a very exciting chart. As you guys can see here, TradingView does not update the charts for after hours on their regular site. However, I've marked this check mark to kind of signal where we are here in after hours. With about an hour and 20 minutes left to go, we are currently sitting at that 1395 level with about 3.5 million shares in volume traded in the after hours session alone. So very impressive stuff here. And it's setting up this chart beautifully, especially when we consider the fact that, if we continue to get this move up with volume in pre-market tomorrow, well, all of a sudden we could be breaking out of this downtrend that we've been in throughout the entirety of August, and we could really start to see a pretty hard short-term rally. So to get more into it, the best way to do that is to look at some indicators. So a few indicators are sitting very, very close to this range right now. Okay, if we open the day and close the day above 1381, all of a sudden we've reclaimed the 9-day EMA. That's the shortest term moving average that I use as a trader. And what that tells me is that very, very short term, all of a sudden, the stock is going to flip from being bearish outlook to bullish outlook. If we make a move all the way then to 1464, now we've reclaimed the 21-day EMA. And that confirms that the short-term momentum for this stock becomes incredibly bullish. And hopefully that can generate even more volume and momentum into the stock, where then we could start testing and trying to reclaim some kind of longer-term moving averages. So here I have a couple charted out. We have the 50-day moving average at 1603 and the 200-day at 1684. Now, in order to get above both of those levels, it's going to require some volume. It's going to require some momentum. However, if we are able to claim those back, well, all of a sudden, TLRY is not only going to look bullish in the short term, however, it's going to also start to look bullish in the long term, which is exactly what this kind of news that comes out today warrants. The final indicator I want to take a look at, this is also something very exciting for the bulls, is going to be the RSI. So obviously, this doesn't factor in the after hours move, but as you guys can see here, TLRY is fast approaching this oversold territory, okay, on the RSI, currently sitting at around 35, and that is very, very low. It's almost overextended on the seller side. Sellers are getting exhausted, buyers are interested, and as a result, if we do start a catapult off this move right here, well, all of a sudden we have a lot of room to go before we start to get overextended on the buyer side. So that is something very, very exciting as well. But now let's take a look at our key levels heading into tomorrow, our key supports and resistance levels. So we're going to start off by just taking a look at our support levels. So the first support we're going to see on our chart here is at 1360. After that, room all the way down to 1330 to 1320, which is, where this stock is most likely going to head if, that momentum doesn't keep up in pre-market and into market open tomorrow. However, this is a very, very good loading zone. This is a spot with lots and lots of support and resistance whenever TLRY does go and cross it. And I'm sure many, many buyers are going to be here waiting for TLRY to get to that level so they can load their positions. When it comes to support levels, I always preach this. Always try to buy or add to your position near support levels. By doing so, you end up minimizing your risk and maximizing your upside. It creates much less of a headache. So that's always what you want to do. Below that, there is room all the way back down to 1295 level. And also we have the 1254 level. Those are kind of our local lows here for ever since really we broke out of that, big downtrend in January. These have been our local lows. So below 1254, watch out below. We probably have a lot more downside ahead. However, this entire range is very, very nice to buy for a swing position, kind of risking off that 1254 level. However, now looking at the upside, okay, we're going to have a pretty big resistance zone right here at that 1390 to $14 marker. Above that, well, all of a sudden we could be breaking out of that August downtrend line, and we could see, we do have resistance here at 1425 to 1440. However, we could break through those pretty quickly if we are indeed able to break out of that downtrend. And above that, we would have room all the way to retesting 1490 to 1510. So, a lot of room to the upside if we can get that kind of clean break right around that 1420 area. So I am personally very, very excited for that. One other thing before we wrap up to pay attention to that's going to kind of help you understand whether TLRY is going to make that move to the upside right away, or whether maybe it's going to kind of fall first and you can pick up some cheap shares on a dip before making that move up. You need to pay attention to volume. Okay. If volume tomorrow in pre-market is abnormally large, kind of like it is today in after hours, well, then all of a sudden the momentum is still there and it is much more likely to make that move up right away. So definitely pay attention to that. That is always, a very, very good indicator of what happens next with the price action. But all that being said, let me know what you think happens tomorrow. I'm very excited to hear your guys' feedback. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, hit me with a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your night.